Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at the legendary Air Force 1 and the more affordable Nike Court Vision Low. We're going to be comparing the differences between them since they are very similar, although they're not the same. We're going to be comparing the price, visual differences in silhouette, leather, colors, comfort and sizing, and lastly at the end I'll give you guys some suggestions on which ones I think you should cop. I've reviewed both of these shoes separately on my channel, so definitely go check that out. I'll leave links down in the description below. Now let's get into it. First off, I quickly want to look at the boxes. The box for the Court Vision Lows is just your regular Nike box, and it's actually part of the Nike Court collection. The Air Forces on the other hand come in a nice gray box with some nicer tissue paper. Also, just for reference, this is the 2007 Air Force 1 version of the shoe, which is actually the most common version of the sneaker. On to the prices. The Court Vision Lows retail for a reasonable $65, but they also have other colors that come in a little pricier. The Air Forces on the other hand retail at $90, and that's really just for the all white or the all black colorway. The price really just goes up and up and up and up from there for pretty much any other colorway. Most obvious difference between the two is the midsole and the outsole. They are significantly thicker on the Air Force 1. Obviously the Air Force 1 has an Air unit. As you can see, they have the Air logo marked on the side of the shoe, while the Court Visions do not feature any Air unit at all. The thickness of the midsole on the Air Forces adds about 1.5 inches, and the Court Visions add about 1 inch. So definitely something to think about for the shorter people out there, especially for all the short kings out there. There are many differences on the leather overlays. For example, the toe overlays are different, the side overlays are also different, and then there are also differences between the rear overlays. On the back of the Air Forces, we actually get an embroidered logo, while on the Court Visions we get a debossed logo. Also, the Court Visions have more perforations on the toe box, and you also do get a nice metal doubre on the Air Forces. The Court Visions do not get any doubre at all. Lastly, the traction pattern on both shoes is very similar. You can tell that the Court Visions drew heavy inspiration from the Air Forces for its traction pattern. Overall, although both shoes share really similar design philosophies, their silhouettes are completely different. The Court Visions have a sleeker lower profile and overall just have a more classic sneaker-like silhouette. Meanwhile, the Air Forces have a distinct profile. The chunky outsole and upper and the round toe box give it a shape that is really unique to the Air Force 1. The leather on the Court Visions have a nice texture. It actually has this kind of tumbled leather look. However, according to Nike, they are made out of a combination of leather and synthetic leather. They do feel more plasticky to the touch when compared to the Air Forces. The upper on the Air Forces has a complete leather construction, and instead of having that tumbled leather texture, they do have a full grain leather texture to them. The leather feels really smooth and feels good to the touch. The Court Visions come in many different colorways, with most of them coming in at that $65 MSRP. And like I mentioned before, there are other colorways that come in a little bit higher. The Air Forces come in even more colorways. They have hundreds, probably thousands of different colorways and collabs, so you have a ton of options to choose from. However, you definitely will pay a heavy premium for a lot of those options. On to the comfort, starting off with the Air Force 1s. The Air Forces are one of the most comfortable sneakers that I've owned. It's got that thick midsole, and of course it also has the Air unit on the heel. The shoe doesn't cushion your every step like a Boost shoe would, but the thick midsole and the Air unit really help dampen the environment and heavily support your feet. I can stand on these all day with no issue. For the Court Visions, the comfort is similar. They're not as comfortable as the Air Forces, of course, because of that midsole. It's smaller and obviously lacks the Air unit, but the comfort is very adequate. I've had no problems with these at all, and especially for the price, it's really hard to complain. Both of the shoes have pretty much the same sizing. They both run pretty large, so I would definitely recommend sizing down for a proper fit, probably about half a size. Now, if you really want the shoe that has more kind of clout surrounding with it, and it's, more well known to sneakerheads, you don't want them to bag on you or anything, or you really just want to try out this pretty legendary shoe, the Air Forces are definitely the way to go. You are going to pay a higher price at $90, but with that you're getting the Air unit, the thicker midsole, and the better leather. If you really don't care about all that and you really just want an inexpensive Nike sneaker for under $70, especially if you can get these on sale for $40 or $50, then the Court Visions are definitely the way to go. I have seen that the Air Forces can sometimes be out of stock, especially in the common sizes, since there's a high demand for these shoes, especially in the summer. And because of that, you might want to think about the Court Visions as an alternative. Also, I've heard two things about the Air Force Ones, and one is that they are a short dude's best friend, since they do add a good amount of height. I've also heard that some people, when they try them on, they tend to feel like they look like clown shoes on them, so they actually opt for the Court Visions, since they do have a sleeker profile, so they don't look as clowny to them. Just something for you guys to think about when choosing. Well, that's pretty much going to be it for the video, guys. I really hope you guys found it helpful. Like and subscribe if you did. Let me know what shoes you prefer down in the comments below. And as always, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next video.